Hello, welcome. My name is Dimitris Vasiagiorgis, and I'm the responsible for international sales and service at Opto Hellas. We are here to present you the first official user's guide of Velite C1000. Velite C1000 is our new SLO ultra-wide OCT, and in this user guide I will show you step by step how to operate the device, how to use the software, and all the official features and characteristics of the device. Are you ready, Faye? When we start the software, we have the option to find an existing patient which already has examinations in the database, or add a new patient to start a new examination from the beginning. So we add a new patient. We have to type the patient name, input the date of birth, the gender, and the other fields are optional. We can also put the nationality and race of the patient. We press OK, and the patient is created. So immediately we are in the acquisition screen where we can do a new examination. On the bottom here you can see that there is a list of all possible examinations that we can do on the device. The posterior module is initially selected, and the macula mode is the first mode that appears on the software. The first examination is the single B-scan line, X-line scan. We click on the single line and then we select the quality of the examination, standard definition, high definition, or 4K. I double click on the 4K button and I wait for the camera to initialize. After the camera is initialized, the patient can put her head on the chin rest, and I use the joystick to center the image inside the pupil. When I find the pupil, I push the head towards the eye until I see the whole fundus image on the top left image of the screen. After I see the fundus, I press autofocus, and the device automatically adjusts an adjustment for the best image quality. And all I have to do now is just press the button and the acquisition has started. And it is already finished. Now the examination is saved. I see a preview. I press save if I want to keep it. And I press on the top left analyze to see the final result. So as you can see here, I have a single B-scan with the fundus image on the left. I can see on the right side of the screen some options. I have the option of showing the segmentation lines. You see in the high definition single scan line, you can see very clearly the separation of the layers of the retina. And also I have the opportunity to edit them, put some text, measure, or show the image in color mode. I can also, of course, show a report which I can directly print on my connected Windows printer. If I want to do a new examination, I press on the top right back and new capture. Apart from the single scan line, I also have the opportunity to do the horizontal line, and at the end the custom line scan. The custom line scan is only for adjusting the line, adjusting its position and its rotation. If I want to do the line in a separate part of the retina, maybe the periphery. The rest of the scan patterns are the cross, the raster, the 3D scan, and the radial. Let's do a raster scan. Again, I select my pattern and I select the image quality by double-clicking on 4K. The camera is initialized. The patient puts her head on the chin rest, and all I have to do is use the joystick to find the fundus. Automatically, the OCT will be shown in my right image, and I just need to press the button. Since I already did an examination before, the image is already focused. And the examination is finished. Now it saves the examination. I see the preview and I press save and analyze to see the final image. So on the raster B scan, I can see that I have 11 examinations, 11 B scans. The width is 12 millimeter, is a wide scan, and I can easily scroll by using the scroll on the mouse to see each one of these images and find out if there is something wrong in the periphery of the retina. Again, I have the same options on the right side of the screen to have the segmentation lines, but not in the same quality as the single B scan. We press back and new capture. I can also do the 3D scan. The 3D scan, there is the option of 6x6 and 9x9. So the typical OCT examination is the 6x6. I double click, the camera is initialized, the patient sits, the image automatically appears and I just press the button. Okay, done. I press save and analyze. In this examination, I can see some measurements, the measurement maps of the thickness of the retina. I have here 4 maps. One is for the retina thickness and retina thickness deviation, and here is the volume thickness and the volume deviation. As you can see, it has a color code, so based on the normative database of the device, it shows you if the range of the thickness is within normal limits or not. For the radial scan, I press radial, 4K. The radial scan is also a wide field scan with 8 scan lines. And again, I press the button very easily and I wait for the examination to finish. Okay, done. I press save and analyze. And again, like the other modes, like the 3D scan, I have a map of the retina thickness with color code compared to the normative database. the optic nerve analysis, I click on optic nerve, and here I have a series of examinations related to the optic nerve. The first one is the 3D scan on the macula. I double click, and when I do this examination, it's the same as the other ones. This is a scan on the macula which will provide me ganglion cell layer thickness data. Again, I press the button. The examination is finished. Save and analyze. And with this examination, I have a map of the ganglion cell thickness, and in this examination, when I see the result, I have a map of the ganglion cell thickness in the macula. For the most important examination, for the optic disc analysis, I click here on the 3D scan disc, double click. In this examination, the patient will see the fixation target on the side, but also the eye tracker of the device will follow the optic disc wherever it goes, as you can see in the top left image on the fundus. So I just press the button again to initiate the capture, and the examination is finished. After save and analyze, I can see the complete optic disc analysis. Here I can see that the disc and the cap are recognized. I can see in this table here that all the information of the optic disc of the eye, average RNFL thickness, rim area, disc area, and the most important, the cap to disc ratio, and the cap volume. Other than that, I have RNFL thickness profiles, which I can see the RNFL thickness on the whole range of the optic disc, and of course the RNFL thickness in those two maps, the RNFL clock hours and RNFL quadrants. It is worth mentioning that in the optic disc analysis we have the opportunity to do a comparison, not only from two examinations but from more, and see the progression of the optic disc analysis. And also we have different reports like the end-phase report, or the optical nerve head report, which we can directly print to our Windows printer. Moreover, on the optic disc, we have the circle scan, which can do a very high detailed acquisition of the RNFL thickness. This is a special program directed only for measuring the RNFL of the eye. Again, the patient sees the target on the side. We have a circular tomogram. It is automatically tracked in the center of the disc. I press the button and the examination is finished. Save, analyze. And in this examination we have a very high quality tomogram. It is a circular tomogram, as you see here on the fundus image, and we have a very high analysis of RNFL thickness and the RNFL thickness profile. The V-Light C1000 has a unique mode which is called eye checkup. eye checkup is a wide scan of 12 by 6 millimeters, which with a single scan it can capture the macula and the optic disc and provide a full analysis for both. We double click. See the fundus. And I press the acquisition button. Okay. We press Analyze. As you can see, in this examination, I have the optic disc analysis with RNFL thickness and cap to disc ratio. I have RNFL thickness measurement on the optic disc. I have ganglion cell thickness analysis on the macula and the retina thickness. All this in a quick one-scan acquisition. Next is the choroid. This is a special mode which is used to measure and provide a map for the choroid thickness. I can do the same in raster or radial scan and choose 3x3 or 6x6 mode. I double click. And I do the examination like the other examination, exactly the same. I press the button and it's finished. Save and analyze. And with this mode, as you can see, I have an estimation of the choroid thickness and the choroid thickness map on an area of 3x3. So the V-Lite C1000 also have the possibility to do high quality, high definition angiography. We click on Angio, and as you can see, I have the opportunity to do 3x3 and 6x6. I double click on 6x6, and I start my examination. The procedure is the same. And after I see clearly the fundus and the OCT image, I press the button. The eye tracker is enabled, and it can compensate for any eye movement, retina movement, or blinking of the patient. And the examination is finished. The OCT angiography is finished. You see we have a 6x6 millimeter image in very high quality. On the right side, you can see the density analysis of the angiography. This is the blood flow, the blood vessel density. And at the bottom we have the ILM and RPE thickness map. On the left side, we can change the depth of the angiography from whole retina to superficial, deep layers, avascular zone, choriocapillaris, choroid, and we have some density color maps which shows us the density of the blood vessels in color mode. Of course, we can adjust the depth of the image by ourselves if we create a custom end face mode, where we can click and drag the layer borders in the depth that we require. The Velite C1000 also have the anterior module. The anterior module of the Velite is integrated, which means that we do not use any external lens. All we have to do is to click here on the option of anterior, and inside the device a lens is moved, and now we can proceed to the imaging of cornea. We have the high definition line scan. I double click, and all I have to do is center my image until I see the cornea of the patient. I can put the cornea, the placement of the image in whichever position I want. This is the central cornea where I see the central reflection of the eye. I press the button and the examination is finished. If I press save and analyze, I can see a very high quality, high definition image of the cornea, where you can see the epithelium and the stroma is very easily separated. I can also do a cornea angle scan. I double click on the angle scan, and with this mode I can measure the cornea angle. I can visualize it, I can place it inside my field of view. As best as I can. I press the button. And in this mode, I have a special tool which allows me to place it in the anterior chamber angle and have a very precise measurement of the cornea angle. For the cornea scan, I can also do a radial scan, which will provide me the thickness maps of the cornea and the epithelium. I use the central reflection to identify the center of the cornea. I press the button. And as you can see, in the radial scan, I have the thickness map of the epithelium and the thickness map of the whole cornea. This mode takes a full of 32 B scans, so I can visualize the cornea 360 degrees.